welcome back to episode 2. We're going to do Daiwagaku today. I want to remind you that you can take private lessons with me at any time. And I also offer lessons on Skype, Zoom, and other formats as well, Facebook, Messenger, and all that kind of stuff. All you have to do is just go to my website, seanheadmusic.com, and go to the bottom of the page where the contact form is. Just send me a little note saying that you'd like to set up private lessons, and we can get you through. I am a licensed teacher. I have a Shihan in the Kinko-ryu school. And so let's get started. So this piece is actually a contemporary piece. It was written in, I believe, Showa 1940, Showa 16. And this was by Jin Nyodo. And so this piece is not technically honkyoku, but it's within that sort of genre of honkyoku that allows it to have, it's really been accepted as a honkyoku piece, even though it's not technically one. In the description of this video, I'm going to have a lot of information about the piece, and so I hope that you'll go through and read that stuff, because it is really interesting. This piece really goes in depth, and as you can see, this looks a lot different than the piece that we did last week, Hon Shirabe. There's a lot more Chinese characters in this, or kanji in this piece, and this is actually that the piece is divided into 4 different sections. The sections are divided by season, so we have spring, summer, winter, and fall. And then we also have different times of the day. And I don't remember all the times. I have to go through and look at them again. But I believe it's 10 in the morning, 1 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then I believe the last one just says dusk, or after sun has fallen. And then there's also the 4 stages of life: childhood, early adulthood, or middle age, and then death. So it is a full circle of life, and the piece is actually designed that you can play it again and again and again and circle over. So it's very fascinating. But today we're just going to talk about the notes of the piece, and let's get started. So our first breath is, it's actually interesting. This is the character for father, and this is down here is the mother, and this is the actual birth of life here. So re is actually a more of a male-dominated pitch, and ro is a feminine pitch. So we're going to play re, and notice we have beat patterns this time, where in the last piece we did not. So we're going to have re, we're going to hold re, re, off, and then we're going to have that breath mark right here. Then we're going to have ro, keeping it holding, ro, breath mark. And then we have, we go on to our next breath. So let's just look at these first 2 lines really quickly. So very, very simple. It starts out the piece, and by the way, I almost forgot to mention that the recommended size for this piece is actually 1.8. The composer actually specifies what size that they want to use. Okay, and now we go on to, again, we have re, holding, re, do, breath mark. So that's going to sound like. And we're gonna rearticulate that with a 3. It actually says 3 san osu, which means to pop 3. Then we have our next breath. The following line is going to be a little quick. We're going to kind of consider this u to be a grace note, uri. And then we're going to have 2 beats on that. And then we're going to come to a repeated sign. So we're going to hit D again. Then we're going to have 3 clicks. So it's going to be uri, ri, e. And like I said on actually the previous piece, I consider E to be a note that's kind of like glue, and it connects phrases together. So we're going to connect this next line right into it. Here we actually have to pop 2 on this tsumeri, and we have 2 clicks on it. Tsumeri. And then we're going to pop 2 again, ro, ro, and this last row has 4 clicks on it. So starting from here to the u, all the way to the end here at the last row. And throughout this piece as well, we should play it as kyo sui, which means to have no vibration, no changing and fluctuations in the sound. So there shouldn't be lots of muraiki. It should be very, very clean tone. So I'll do that one more time. Okay, so now we're in the next section of music, and because we have just finished in this kan, we're actually going to remain in kan for this today. And this should be kind of a bright sound. We're in early adulthood, so there should be more spry. So this is what this will sound like. This tsure should be a little bit brisk on the tsu. Now, similar to the last piece, Hon Shirabe, we're actually going to do this chi, repeat chi, and this though it says u, it's actually the same fingering as bu. So if we remember that chi medi is going to have that first finger for the chi, the half hole covered to get us the A flat chi medi. Then we're going to cover the second hole, and that's going to give us the G. So if we do that really close, so that you can see, here's A. So that line together, and then we are going to pop 4 on it as well. There is an option to pop 4 on this one, but I just don't think it's necessary. So we're going to start from here, and we're going to connect these two lines together because they actually go quite well, or these two breaths together rather. Now the next symbol we have here is san no u. San no u, so it's going to look like the u, but it's going to have 3 lines in the middle, and that means we're going to be playing the u fingering, but we're going to be playing in an upper octave. So the u in the lower octave, as you probably know, gives you the A flat. But when you play it in the upper register in the kan, it actually gives us B flat. And we're going to have to play it slightly kari, because otherwise it becomes really flat. And we don't want that extremely flat sound. And then afterwards we have this hi here, which is hi, and then it says go osu. So you're going to actually pop the 5th hole right after you play that u. So that's going to look like, let's do it from this angle, it'll be a little bit easier to see the thumb. And so that's going to be what we're going to do for that. And then we're going to repeat the hi again, and end off in the E. And do your best to get this as soft as possible. It's very difficult to get that note to be a little bit more sweet, but we have to make it happen somehow. So we're going to have uhi, he, e. And the next line also connects in with it. This is going to be nishi go no ha. So one more time, it's Nishigo no ha. Nishigo is 2, 4, and 5. So we're actually going to have, it's saying that 2, 4, and 5 are going to be open. So we're actually going to cover hole 1 and 3. And that's going to give us an E flat, and that's going to be in Daikan. And on the repeated note, we're going to repeat with 3, this note right here. Now this what this one's all about is, now we can see here, it says yon go me. So what that is saying, and there's also the symbol for hiku here, which means to drop. What that means is that we're going to shade those 2 holes. So not covering them completely this way, but you're going to just set your finger on the side of the bamboo. So if you can see that I'm actually just covering a little bit of that hole. And I'm doing it with both of them, but I'm leaving the 5th hole, the back hole, open. So that's going to then drop that E flat down to a D. And so some people call this one they use just the the ha and then the ni below it. And sometimes there's a couple other ways to write it, but in this case they're going to call it ah. That's what he decided to use it as. And in a lot of the pieces, they'll actually have a legend in the front to tell you if they use any special characters. So this one here is going to sound. And be careful about this notation, because as you notice at the bottom here, there's no breath mark. It actually continues on for this he, and then we get a breath mark. So I'm going to start from right here again, this u to he, and then we're going to go through this, the ha, ha, ah, he. And I'm getting a little bit of vibrato out of habit, but try not to do what I'm doing. So the next one, this little phrase here, we're going to have that same little ditty that we did right here. Chimeri, chimeri, u, also known as du. And so we have chimeri, chimeri, du. And again, the optional, in this case, popping the fourth hole. I'll pop the fourth hole this time more and to exaggerate that. Then we have that tsude. We've done this before. Tsude with a repetition. Now this chi at the end here is a little bit different. So you have tsude, pop 3, de, chi. This is going to be an A natural. So it's not going to be chimeri, just a regular chi. It has the symbol next here, karu, which is meaning that it's going to be in the up position. So the non-meri. And the next phrase connects, or this next little breath also does connect to the previous. And it's going to be a pop 2. And so what we're going to do here is we have the pop 2 meri, as you heard, the repeating with the second finger. And then right here at the end, this means hiku, which means to pull down. So you're just going to pull it down right at the end, as maybe on like what we would consider to be that fourth beat at the end there. And then what we get after that is a haro, ro, ri. So it's going to be 2 beats here. Haro, ro, 2, 3, ri. Then we have our breath, and this one was also going to connect into this line as well. We have u. We're going to pop the fourth hole. And we have, after those 2 clicks, we have this character, which means hiku, meaning to pull down. So we're going to go down a semitone to G, or the u meri, and then we're going to come back up to this character, which means dasu, to bring back up. So u will be the gesture. So I'm going to start from here to connect these 2 phrases, or 2 breaths together. So here as well, these are all things that we've done before in the beginning here, so that's nothing new. Then we have, going back here is our, just a reminder that we're going to be staying in otsu now, coming back down. Tsude, repeating the de with a 3rd finger. De, do. By the way, this character means death. Do, and holding that out for 4 clicks. Then, nighttime, tsu, and then we're going to dip right at the end, very similar to just how we dipped here, to get to a D or a ro pitch. Then we're going to start with a daimeri ro, and then a ro repeat. So I'm going to start right here and finish off the piece. So a couple recommendations in this piece is that um, in the beginning, since you're going to be in youth, it makes more sense to be more lively and more powerful. Middle age or getting into young adulthood, very lively, even more power into that con register. But then as the piece gets a little bit more into it, we become into older age. Time it becomes a little bit later at night. It's hitting dusk. Things should start to quiet down. So really, the curve of this piece should be quite nice, just like the shape of a hill or shape of a mountain. So I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. Again, that you can take private lessons with me. All you have to do is just go to seanheadmusic.com, go to the bottom contact page, send me a link. We can do a lesson on Skype, we can do a lesson on Zoom, and if you live in Houston, Texas, you can come to my home and we can do it in person. So also be sure to leave a comment in the comment box below of pieces that you'd like to hear or like to try or for me to explain. Or if you have any questions about this piece as well, feel free to leave a comment in the description. I hope you enjoyed it.